Welcome to IBN India Business News. For June Week 2, 2024. IBN is a weekly business news capsule for various segments comprising business leaders, managers, researchers, scholars, business management students and teachers. IBN presents each week's important business events across various sectors in a sequential manner for convenient consumption of information. Advertising, research, consulting. For Indian companies have made it to the list of 100 most valuable global brands this year. While Apple has topped the list, Tata Consultancy Services, HDFC Bank, Airtel and Infosys from India also made the cut. AIG ties up with Creative Land Studios for India entry. The collaboration aims to create a platform that supports Indian artists in reaching international audiences and achieving global recognition. Blue-collar workers, comprising over 80% of India's non-agricultural workforce, play a pivotal role in driving and sustaining the country's economy across diverse sectors. McKinsey & Company forecasts that by 2030, 70% of the 90 million new jobs anticipated in India will fall under the category of blue-collar roles. Deloitte's report found that new cost-reducing finance instruments can help de-risk green projects in developing economies while making investing in these projects more attractive. Achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 will require an annual global investment in the energy sector ranging from $5 trillion to $7 trillion. Auto sector. Tata Motors Punch and Nexon electric vehicles became the first to receive a 5-star safety rating from the Bharat New Car Assessment Program. Punch EV scored 31 points for 6 out of 32 points for adult occupant protection and 45 out of 49 for child occupant protection. Tesla board approves Musk's $56 billion pay package. Tesla CEO's annual pay beats the revenues of prominent Indian entities, including HPCL, $52.09 billion, SBI, $40.35 billion, and TCS, $29.04 billion. Hyundai aims to raise between $2.5 billion and $3 billion, with a potential valuation reaching up to $30 billion. If successful, this IPO could become one of India's largest, second only to the LIC of India's. Dealers urge carmakers to slow down factory dispatches. Over the last 3 months, auto dealers saw a steady rise in passenger vehicles inventory, totaling 550,000 to 600,000 unsold vehicles for a 2-month stock. Aviation sector. Indigo Airlines share price dips on Interglobe Aviation stake offload plan. Interglobe Enterprises holds a 37.75% stake in Indigo's operator Interglobe Aviation and is selling its stake at its base price of 4,266 rupees. Boeing is on an urgent mission of training thousands of rookies to safely build a plane. The company worked on ways to train and connect with the younger, less experienced recruits. The new training regimen requires more hours and more frequent testing. Bankrupt airline Go First got a final 60-day extension from the National Company Law Tribunal to complete its corporate insolvency resolution process. This extension will last till August 3rd. Fired SpaceX workers sue Elon Musk over workplace abuses. The suit charges Elon Musk and SpaceX with sexual harassment, discrimination, retaliation, and wrongful termination. Boeing investigates quality issue on undelivered 787s. The plane maker is investigating a quality problem with its undelivered 787 Dreamliner planes after discovering that some fasteners were incorrectly installed on the jet's bodies, leading to heightened scrutiny from US regulators. Find the video useful? Like, share, and subscribe. Core sector. Abu Dhabi's TAQA's decision to drop the joint bid with Spanish holding Criteria is final. Spanish holding firm Criteria had not reached an agreement with TAQA over a potential joint takeover bid for Spanish gas firm Naturgy. Oil producer Matador Resources Company announced a $1.9 billion cash deal to buy oil and gas producing assets in the Permian Basin from ENCAP Investments LP. The deal includes new properties in New Mexico and West Texas. Tata Steel has threatened to shut its blast furnaces in the UK earlier than planned amid an indefinite strike call given by a certain section of workers to protest against 2,800 job losses. BPCL has launched e-drive stores in partnership with electric scooter maker Bounce Infinity as an integral part of a strategy to transform its fuel stations into versatile energy hubs. Finance sector. Kotak Alternate Asset Managers has announced a 1,445 crore rupees investment in the acquisition of Viatris active pharmaceutical ingredient business by Matrix Pharma. The investment was made through Kotak Strategic Situations Fund 2. Gold prices edged down on an uptick in the US dollar as investors awaited key US inflation data and the conclusion of the US Federal Reserve's two-day monetary policy meeting. Global private equity firm Warburg Pincus is the front-runner to acquire a controlling stake in furniture hardware maker EBCO. Promoters are planning to sell up to 74% stake in the Mumbai-based company for 3,500 crore rupees. Amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, new US sanctions against Russia have caused an immediate suspension of trading in dollars and euros on the Moscow exchange. AIG announces JV with Creative Land Studios for India entry. The collaboration aims to create a platform that supports Indian artists in reaching international audiences and achieving global recognition. LIC of India is planning to acquire one of India's 5 private standalone health insurance companies to secure a beachhead in the country's growing health insurance market. Several Pay-TM employees are facing imminent job cuts. Employees allege forced resignations, no severance pay, informal processes and more against Pay-TM. The Hinduja Group sought a 90-day extension till the end of August to complete their acquisition of erstwhile Anil Ambani-promoted Reliance Capital, arguing that approvals from the Reserve Bank of India and the government are causing a delay to the 9,861 crore rupees deal. Government regulators. The Mumbai bench of the National Company Law Tribunal admitted Kian Healthcare under insolvency following an application filed by one of its operational creditors over unpaid dues worth 1.14 crores. SEBI conducted search and seizure operations on Sandeep Tandon-owned Quant Mutual Fund, suspecting front-running activities. SEBI's investigation wing carried out the search after a detailed probe into allegations of front-running. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India has imposed a ban on advertising unit-linked insurance plans as investment products. This decision comes in response to numerous complaints received by the regulator this year regarding the mis-selling of ULIPs. TRAI has kept OTT out of regulation in its recommendations for national broadcasting policy. The regulations of OTT have been a matter of debate in the country, as consumer bodies have been lobbying to regulate OTT platforms. Healthcare and pharma sector. Nestlé will continue paying general royalty, at the existing rate of 4.5%, net of taxes, to Swiss parent Société des Produits Nestlé SA. German sanitary fittings company Hansgrohe is expanding its presence in India with an ambitious retail strategy. The company plans to open 50 new stores this year, increasing its presence from 78 to nearly 100 cities. Sun Pharma has inked a licensing pact with Takeda Pharmaceutical Company to commercialize a novel gastrointestinal drug in India. The collaboration aims to commercialize vonoprazan tablets in strengths of 10 and 20 milligrams in India. Bharat Biotech corrects unintentional mistake, adds ICMR as co-owner of Covaxin patent. This was stated as purely unintentional, and such mistakes being not uncommon for the patent office. Hospitality and tourism sector. Google has launched Google Wallet in India and the app will offer support for local services in the country. As a part of the initiative, Google has partnered with over 20 companies in India, including PVR, Nox, Air India, Indigo, Flipkart, Make My Trip, Ease My Trip, Ixigo, and Pine Labs to enable support for storing digital passes, tickets and documents. The travel industry is expected to continue growing at a steady pace for the next 4 to 5 years, according to Madhavan Menon, executive chairman of Thomas Cook, India. Menon believes that the increasing purchasing power of people who can afford holidays, regardless of the cost, will continue to drive the growth trend. OYO CEO Ritesh Agarwal revealed that the firm had opened a cricket-themed hotel in Bengaluru named Cricotel and felt that the establishment was a true reflection of India's cricketing legacy. Europe's top court-backed Alphabet's Google, Amazon and Airbnb in their fight against an Italian rule requiring them to provide information on the companies. A member state may not impose additional obligations on an online service provider established in another member state. Find the video useful? Like, share, and subscribe. Media and entertainment. US-based Vayner Media has set up a full-service advertising agency in Gurugram, lured by India's economic dynamism. This marks the company's 6th office in the Asia-Pacific region. Z Entertainment plans to raise 2,000 crores for future growth. This decision follows the collapse of two major deals, a $10 billion merger with Sony India and a $1.4 billion cricket broadcasting deal with Walt Disney. In a new offering, Jio has bundled premium services of 15 apps, including Netflix, Amazon Prime Lite, Disney Plus Hotstar, with its 30 megabits per second broadband plan for 888 rupees a month. Realty, Infra, Logistics. Prestige Estate Projects announced that its board has approved raising of funds through issuance of equity shares by way of qualified institutional placement for aggregating up to 5,000 crore in one or more tranches. Shares of Adani Ports and SEZ will start trading on the BSE Sensex as part of the index rejig. The Adani Group company will replace Wipro, whose shares will be excluded. ESR Group, focusing on real estate services and investment in the Asia-Pacific region, has expanded its industrial and logistics park in Chennai's Oragadam by acquiring an additional 27 acres of land. This brings the total area of ESR Oragadam Industrial and Logistics Park to 107 acres, with plans to develop 2.5 million square feet. Shares of CE Info Systems, which runs MapMyIndia.com, rose 17.6% to 2,354.60 rupees on BSE after Goldman Sachs reportedly initiated coverage on the stock with a target price of 2,800 rupees. Find the video useful? Like, share, and subscribe. Retail sector. Zomato infused fresh capital of 300 crore rupees in its quick commerce business Blinkit. With the latest investment, Zomato has infused 2,300 crore rupees in Blinkit since it acquired the company in August 2022, as per the filings. Alibaba's strategic shift to prioritize long-term growth over substantial near-term profits is showing some early success, but analysts say increasing competition could prevent the e-commerce giant from regaining its past market dominance. Florida jury finds Chiquita Brands liable for Colombia deaths. Banana giant Chiquita Brands must pay $38.3 million to 16 family members of people killed during Colombia's long civil war by a violent right-wing paramilitary group funded by the company, a federal jury in Florida decided. Burger would shortly expand its retail network in the 4 South Indian states, as well as in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan in central and west India, according to Abhijit Roy, MD, and CEO of Burger Paints. Startup. NCLT halts Baiju's second rights issue, freezes funds pending litigation. The debt-laden edtech firm was directed to park the amounts collected from the second rights issue in a separate account and not utilize it till the disposal of the main petition. Indian startups raised over $897 million from June 17 to June 22, 2024. Zepto tops the list. Fintech firm Pine Labs weighs $1 billion IPO in India. Pine Labs is reportedly considering a US IPO that could value the company at over $6 billion. The offering is expected to include both new and secondary shares. Quest Corp has launched JobSpot, a blue-collar recruitment hub, to address the growing demand for talent in the industrial sector. The first 2 JobSpot centers were inaugurated at Narasapura, Karnataka, and Hosur, Tamil Nadu, that cater to over 200 walk-in job seekers daily. Technology sector. Cognizant's ambitious acquisition of Belcan raises questions. The ESG report states that Belcan had about $1 billion in revenue in 2022 and 2021. Cognizant expects Belcan to have $800 million in revenue this year. Amazon will invest billions of dollars in Taiwan over the next 15 years to build data centers, the latest global technology company to expand its footprint in Asia to meet the region's growing demand for cloud services. OpenAI doubles annualized revenue to $3.4 billion. ChatGPT has become a driving force in AI development, and the company is increasing revenue from its AI products by selling services to enterprise customers. Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter for $44 billion led to a massive 80% workforce cut, causing chaos and shock. Despite facing challenges like increased hate speech and functionality problems, the app has endured, and his radical downsizing set a new standard for job cuts in the tech industry. Apple sued by employees alleging unequal pay for women. The lawsuit claims that Apple has systematically paid women less than men for the same roles. Google CEO Sundar Pichai testified briefly at the federal financial conspiracy trial surrounding bus-to-bus startup Aussie Media, countering founder Carlos Watson's alleged claims that Google once sought to buy Aussie Telecom sector. Bharti Airtel has prepaid 7,904 crore rupees to the Department of Telecommunications to clear high-cost deferred liabilities for spectrum acquired in 2012 and 2015. Vodafone Idea has completed the minimum rollout obligation for 5G networks. Vodafone Idea had acquired spectrum to provide 5G services in 17 telecom circles in 2022. Find the video useful? Like, share, and subscribe. See you next week. Till then, stay curious, stay informed.